Welcome back to the Monkey Table. Now that Stranger Things is finally coming to an end, I can't wait to see Eleven get her happy ending and for some fuck-ass Zionists to fade into obscurity. No, a Zionism is not sexy, and maybe if you spent a moment under the bomb seeing children blown up, maybe you would change your mind, but I'm assuming that's a bit too much to hope from a fuck-ass bitch like you. Yes, it's free Palestine all day, every day here, bitch. And I know some of you might be like, oh, well, we've heard about this before, oh, everybody knows, stop saying the same thing, or oh, we don't care, or oh, he apologized. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna speak out about it, because once you see things like this, you cannot stay quiet. And we should not be quiet about things like this or brush them under the carpet, especially when they're done or said by people with significant power or influence. They need to be held accountable, and I will fucking hold them accountable. I don't give a shit. And I included some links to organizations which support Palestinian people below in the description. Fuck war. Also, can somebody please explain to me the purpose of this little bitch as a character? Like, does he do anything other than scream like a little hoe or grab his thick ass neck and say, oh, I feel him, his clothes. Like, he should have been killed off in like season 2. Matter of fact, season 1. I can't stand this fucking hoe. I hope he's violently killed in the season 5 finale, but in the meantime, let's get back to the doll. So for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, Monster High occasionally release, well, occasionally, this year they've been doing it every single business day. Basically, this collector series, it features dolls inspired by horror films or horror TV shows. And basically Mattel just take the character and reimagine them as a bad bitch. Essentially, like, they yassify them. Most of them are super cool, but some of them are hit and miss, and fans really tear them up. So it really depends on who's designing the doll or the character. Since Stranger Things is coming to an end, I decided to do my take on a collector inspired by Stranger Things. And of course I had to start with my girl 11. She's an icon, she's the moment, and she is fucking amazing. And I used the Twilight doll I had because the body is a little sister body type, which is perfect, and I felt like the head mold also matched Millie's features. Unfortunately, the doll had some issues with the neck. I'm not sure what happened, but the peg was broken, so I had to take out the peg which was stuck inside the head. And the head kind of split when I was doing this, and at the same time I was trying to fix the neck peg, which was really impossible. And I basically had to apply some epoxy to the neck peg and kind of make a makeshift fixed neck, I guess. It was really troublesome, but it worked in the end, so I'm pretty happy, and the head fits, so, you know, happy days. For the clothes, I just went with her standard season 1 outfit, the dress, the socks, the jacket, and I basically did it the same way I've been doing clothes the past few videos. By applying cling film to the doll, then cutting it out on paper, and then using the stencil to cut out the fabric. Also, I have to admit, guys, like, I actually didn't watch Stranger Things until this year. Like, it came out when I was in secondary school and it was super big and I saw it everywhere, but I never really watched it. I don't know, I guess it just didn't really pique my interest like that. But, like, hear me out, guys. I was actually smart in not doing this because unlike all the other people who watched like season 1 and 2 and fell in love and had to wait ages for every season to come out and the finale to be released, I just watched it all in one go this year, like a few months before season 5 released. And so I beat the game because I didn't have to wait ages for every season to come out. Like, I was already finished by the time season 5 came out. Like, I had the ending handed to me on a plate. So I didn't have to invest emotionally as I could into the series because, let's be honest, it's not worth being emotionally invested in. I mean, not for like 5 years at least. This is actually the same reason why I'm not getting into One Piece, because everybody's like, oh, it's so good, but I'm like, well, it has like 5 million chapters, which are 50 pages each, and the guy posts a chapter every single 5 years. I'm not getting invested in that. I'm gonna wait till he finishes that thing, then I'm just gonna binge read it. You gotta admit, guys, there's some big brain activity going on here. But I gotta say as well, like, I watched Stranger Things and season 1 was amazing. I loved season 1. I thought it was perfect in terms of the story, the pacing, the characters, the conflict, the finale, the resolution. I felt everything was amazing. The music was top notch. Season 2 was good, and it's also answered a lot of unanswered questions we had and expanded a bit more on the backstory of some characters. And then from season 3, it kind of just started going downhill, for me at least, because yes, the graphics were amazing in season 3, that we can all agree on, but I felt like the characters got flanderized to fuck, to the point where it was just really ridiculous. Jonathan became everybody's punching bag, Dustin just said shit all the time and screamed, and what was up with all the obnoxious screaming in that season? Everybody was fucking screaming, it was so annoying. And I felt like the comedy got a bit too much, because the show was originally like mystery and horror with a bit of comedy thrown in, but from season 3 it just started becoming like a Simpsons show or something. And maybe some people like it, but I don't, because it just takes away the realism of the show and just makes it look stupid. I'm sorry. Not to mention those annoying ass subplots with the Russians. Like, come on guys, I know the series is set in the 80s, but evil Russians in 2025, like, okay, we already have evil Russians in 2025, like, do we still need them on the show as well? Also, a lot of the Russian characters are not native speakers, and I can hear it because I speak fluent Russian. So some of the main characters, which are supposed to be Russian, are just Eastern Europeans or from Germany, and their Russian fucking sucks, whereas some of the side characters are fluent Russian speakers. So I guess props to Netflix for actually hiring some fluent Russian speakers for once in an American TV show. But the fact that they're side characters and not the main character really misses the mark, because it's super weird when I hear like side characters speak perfect Russian but the main characters are like horrendous at it. And I actually haven't watched season 5 yet, but from what I've seen online, like, it's not the best, so probably watch in January and hopefully it's a bit better, but I don't really have high hopes. I think the series kind of outlived itself, but it's a good thing that they're stopping now, because now is the perfect time to stop. Anyway, back to the doll. So for the shoes, I was really lucky that Twyla's shoes were essentially like Eleven's shoes in the show, so I just basically had to cut the heel off. And for those of you who don't know Skullectors, basically every single doll has like object heels, which are meant to be like an Easter egg to something from the movie or the show. Most people fucking hate them because usually they don't match or they're really abstract or random, but I fucking love object heels. Like, I love how it's like a nod to the original show, and I just find them really cute and a really good way to incorporate a reference to the movie or the TV show. So I decided to put the walkie-talkies as her object heel. I think it really fits with what Mattel would do, and I just felt like it was a nice nod to the show. And I didn't really want to include them as an accessory because she doesn't really use them that much in the show in season 1, so I felt like making them as an object heel would be perfect. I did think about making one of the objects her in the tank, and I actually made a prop, but I decided not to use it in the end because I felt it didn't really suit the heels and it didn't match, and I just didn't really like it that much. And her bag obviously had to be the Eggo box, so for that one I printed out some of the layouts of the original Eggo box package from the time the show is set. And then to make the box, I used an actual box of cacottes, which is like a cracker that's sold in France. It's super delicious and really good. I love them. And I basically cut out the shape of the box and folded it and stuck on pieces of the printed out layout onto the box. I also did a second option where I didn't cut out a layout of the box. I just stuck the pictures onto the cacottes cardboard and then cut them out as I went. And I found this option worked better, so it was the one I used in the end. It was really fun making the box and folding it, like I felt like a kid again. And for the handle, I just cut off a piece of the printed Ego paper and stuck it onto some of that Krakot cardboard, folded it over a bit and stuck it onto the box, and I had my handle. And here's the finished box. I feel it's perfect as a bag, and it is a bit manky at the edges, and maybe some parts are a bit scuffed, but I feel like it makes it more realistic, so yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way. To make her hairstyle, I went with a very simple route. I had some spare hair, which I cut very finely because I didn't really have any flocked material and I didn't have time to buy it. And I basically just added some glue onto her head and rolled her around in the cut hair. For the face, I went for a very simple look, nothing too complex because she's a kid, like she's not gonna have like super dramatic makeup in the way most Monster High Skullector dolls have. And I also was a bit afraid of yassifying her too much because again, she's a kid, like she doesn't need huge eyelashes or big lips. So I tried to keep her details as minimal and as simple as possible. I hope I achieved that. If not, let me know. I was a bit in a rush when doing the face, so it's not really perfect. And also, well, I mean, I was doing this like a few days before going on holidays because I decided I wanted to make 6 dolls in the week I left for holiday. So yeah, I have nobody to blame but myself for rushing through this doll, but I'm still really happy with how she turned out. Obviously, I'm gonna have to tweak some details here and there when I get back, but I got all the stuff I wanted to, all the details I wanted to include in the doll, so mission accomplished. So yeah, this is my take on a Skullector 11. Hope you guys like it, and if you want to support me, feel free to slide me some hot dollars in this economy. You know, anything that little helps. And did I mention she's part of a 2-pack? Keep your eyes out for the next repaint.